Hi, everybody. Good evening. So, welcome you all to the session. Am I audible? Yeah. Thank you, DataMites. So, welcome you all to the session. So, today we have Jithin Dayal here to talk about his career journey. So, let's welcome him. Hi, Jithin.
Hi, thank you for inviting me and thank you for the opportunity to talk here. I didn't think of like coming back to an institute where I studied and giving out a speech or a interview or something.
Yeah,
But
thanks
thank
for
you.
your time. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Before we start, Jithin, can you see if you can switch on the camera?
yeah, sure. Uh, uh, other access. Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can
Can you
see
see me
you.
now?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yes, Jithin.
where should I begin?
You?
Mm, So,
How
thank
are
you
you?
all. And yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Hope you're all good. Hope you're all safe
Yeah.
here.
Good. So first of all, congratulations, Jithin, to uh, get a job as a data analyst. So tell us about you. Like we would like to understand what is your background, educational background, and how did you, do this transition from, from wherever you are to data analyst.
So, I completed my bachelor's in mechanical engineering. That's before COVID. So, before the
Yeah.
COVID hit, I was still doing a mechanical engineering job, but that was on the field, 12 hours a day jobs. But when the pandemic hit, we were all home, like isolated to your homes. So I thought like I needed a quick start, like a restart for my career. Then I found DataMites was giving like very useful courses, study materials, and they were helpful like how to start my career in data. So they helped me to study from the basics of Python, data visualizations, many other data analytics softwares. Give them my first-hand experience on, and some many like very helpful projects that could. Uh, I didn't know at that time that is gonna help me in my future, but everything like every single thing that we learn at that beginning stage was like a adding bricks to your home. Like it's gonna build up to the best, like the top. It's not gonna do if you stop at the middle, it's not gonna make you a good home or a very beautiful home, but it's gonna add bricks to it. So at after completing the course, I did the client projects, everything, and that's end of November. At the end of November, yeah, I thought I needed much more. Like I'm interested in this, so I needed like push further into this career. So I was looking up where should I pursue my higher studies. Then like UK was called like inviting a lot of students, and they were, had a lot of scholarships. And like yeah, why not? Then I moved to UK in 2022 January. Then I completed my masters in computer science here. But after that, it was a bit of a struggling stage because there was a lot of people like me who was completed this masters, but they're searching for jobs. So how you stand out from them? How you have an extra skill or because everybody has learned the basic things that's going to be taught in universities with Java, C++, everything. But where you have standout is like you have an experience with client projects. You had like a 6 months or 5 months projects, like you have done those things that's been done in the industry, and you know how when you are going through say like a boot camp or something, you have people who have no idea how you do the analytics, like Jupyter Notebook. People have never heard about those things, but I in the comes in with yeah, I know what Jupyter Notebook is, why you're going to use Anaconda, how you're going to work with that, how the libraries work, how so. And after my master's, like about 3 or 4 months, I was like struggling with because I'm applying, but I'm not applying correctly, or I'm not getting through the first two rounds. Then there was a boot camp from for data analytics. which I had like I was working part-time, did the boot camp. After that, I took a break. Literally, I took a break. Like I need to rethink my strategies, my positions, then created a very good resume. That's very key in here when you're applying for a job. So I found out that when I was talking to HRs, like they won't glance over your resume more than 10 seconds, 15 seconds. That's the maximum you're gonna get. So if you have to catch your eye on those keywords, that's first two, three lines on the first page, you have to make sure that there is something for them that what they're looking for. So edit the resumes. It's gonna be it was a long night just editing resumes. I don't know how many resumes I have edited. Like each job you have a separate resume. You get tired. I don't know how I push through, but yeah, when like I don't like the some applications won't come back to you right away. So you have to keep in mind that you have applied for some companies in like 2 months ago. Then the company comes back to you and says, "Thank you for your application. We would like to have for a screening round." And those Deloitte was like, "Yeah, this just there was a call out of the blue from the HR says that we liked your applications. They asked me like, "Where are you? How are you doing?" That kind of thing. That I didn't know that was an interview round or something, but they were just asking me how you are gonna communicate with the team, those kind of things. And then after that, they just send me some like one study material that this is gonna be interview prep materials. You study this, you have to use these techniques, and very interesting techniques. They were saying about a STAR technique, situation, task, action, and result. So they
Okay.
were emphasizing on everything you are gonna say, stick to STAR technique.
Okay.
So there was it's a girl name was Anuradha. So she was like very helpful to me, like they was like stick to your points, don't go way beyond what you're gonna say, or don't shorten your answer, just stick to your points. Yeah, after it was like a and the logic rounds, yeah, and you expect logical rounds to be aptitudes, those things. But in that logical aptitude, logical sections, the questions they were asking like, how are you gonna do that with Python? How are you gonna do that with SQL? How are you gonna do with Tableau? What are the visualization you're gonna expect with the uh, you have two tables, you are gonna find out what's what, but how you gonna visualize that? So on the blue, I was not expecting that. So I after that round, I was like, I didn't know I was gonna go through because I didn't prepare for a technical round at that time because technical round was scheduled to be 1 or 2 weeks after that.
So it was
And they
more
were
of
like,
a scenario based, is it? All
yeah, it
scenario
was
based
scenario
questions.
based. Everything was a scenario based. And the questions they had some like a pre-planned checklist for you. So how you're gonna ask help? How you're gonna if you're in a situation you have no one to ask, like in your team, there's nobody to ask for your team, there's no team leader, and you have very good, very big data that you have never worked with. And how you're gonna present that, like you have to start your work, but you don't know how to. How you're gonna ask help? How you're gonna make sure that you don't sit idle and waste the time? Those kind of things. And there was how you going to work with a team. So give me a situation where you had a like a tough situation. There's one side with the client, one side with the team or the management. So they were in the both opposite sections. How you gonna you manage your situations, and how you're gonna present yourself that you won't upset your client, or how you're gonna manage with the managers that you present your ideas, how you pitch in your ideas, and it's basically how you work with the team.
Okay.
And you make sure that you don't upset your team, or you don't it's like a you have to have a win-win scenarios most cases. But they will ask like where did you fail, how you failed, how you picked up from that.
Okay.
And
So
it's
it
like
was all like more testing you on your logical thinking,
yeah,
how is your problem solving skills and all. Yeah.
yeah, that's problem solving everything. And what was that, logical things with aptitude rounds were like you have what was that, repeated like a pattern identification with
Okay.
do two three things, how you gonna find the next one, what's the next
Reasoning.
thing, reasoning things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
Okay.
explain why you did that. So
Okay.
the interview was scheduled about 20 minutes, it went to about 1.5 hours.
Okay.
Uh, I was like literally sweating off my brains. I could feel my brain was fuming, but yeah, it's fine. And after that, the good thing was like they went through my college transcript and they said, you have
Okay.
never studied Python, you have never studied those kind of Power BI, Tableau, nothing. So how come you have a knowledge on those things? That's where DataMites came in. You have a things like you learn those things. You have an industry experience. You should have highlighted what you have done, like the projects you have done. Give out your GitHub receive, GitHub IDs. Give out your Kaggle things you have uploaded. That's so. Until then, I have a GitHub ID, and I have never. I've used it. When you're in DataMites time, you ask us to make a GitHub ID, keep your profiles up to date. But when I had half in my masters, I dropped it. I don't know why, but it was still there. The GitHub didn't delete it. I don't know why. Then when the Deloitte went back and checked it, my Deloitte, and I was like, yeah, your project was good. You had a very good pattern of explaining your findings. Yeah, very good at that. I don't know how that was the technical round. They didn't go like I was expecting that kind of a logical grilling in the technical round, but they went into my GitHub. I was lively seeing how they're gonna look into my GitHub and they say, "You have done this before you, so we're letting you go through."
So
So
you have projected all your work there. You had your
most of
projects
it,
there. Okay.
yeah, like the house price prediction, the FIFA things, the house price, even though everybody does it, each team does it differently. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, findings was good. Your way of working, how you have described your libraries, how you have integrated your findings in that notebook. Those kind of things, like they're like, okay, you have done these things, you can transition into a their life of work easily. You don't need a very good training period in time. So they cut short my training, like 2 months of training into 2 weeks. So yeah, that's where data mines was like a we didn't realize at that time really literally like this is gonna play up in your future career, but it was a very good foundation that built up.
We
You
are
can
glad
play
that
up.
it helped you in the interview. Yeah. So
So
that made you to
and
stand outside, right? From
yeah,
others.
so it's like yeah, everybody was having the degree as like so everybody in the resume has at least having data science, computer science,
Uh,
every ever master's degrees, and I was competing against about 140, 145 candidates.
oh,
Only about
okay.
6 positions was available. I don't know how many else made it. Like literally about 20, 25 minutes ago, I just received my payroll numbers, everything.
Okay.
So
That's a great achievement, actually. Okay. So, what triggered you to get into this field? So, you're from engineering background,
in
right?
mechanical engineering, so that thing was even when I did mechanical engineering, I was doing the data operations,
Okay.
collecting data, entering data. But then there was I'll call it magic. So at that point of time, I was calling it magic because I didn't know what the background thing was like, what's happening behind the screens. And I would get data, like outputs of this is what's going wrong, this is where it is like and I'm the person who's entering the data and collecting the results. But what happens in between was like always a mystery to me. So I tried to be curious almost most times. So I did the research. So there was some machine, like a basic machine learning things working at about 28, 19. It was just the starting time. So, and the data pipelines working behind that, data was collected, went through some algorithm, some neural networks, and they predicted this is gonna have a maintenance in about 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. This is gonna see symptoms of this failure is gonna come. Your materials having this much things. Okay, I need to know more, but I was still working. I didn't know but didn't have a time because I was saying I was literally wasted my weekends on doing everything I can. But when the pandemic hit, the company was like forced to let us stay back home. There was no manufacturing happening, nothing happening. And my
Okay.
cousin was literally doing mechanical engineering. He did shifted into data science and he working in Kmart in Bangalore now. So he was like, "You're always interested in these kind of things. You're always speaking into my work. So why don't you go ahead and have a look into yourself? He suggested me DataMites. Okay, I will go through them. Then, yeah, then
So he
how
was
this
the
happens.
person to guide you to get into data science.
Yeah,
Okay.
literally, yes.
Okay. So you had a real, interview experience, right? Which went about 1.5 hours. So tell us what all was the challenge. So one thing you said it was more scenario-based questions, right? So
Yes,
what are the challenges you had? Were you able to answer, like, let's say, if, did you have practical questions to solve for
yeah, practical
programming?
questions and like aptitude, how the numbers things, like find out the average things, like the basic things was there. Like that was the first round. Like they gave me a link to fill up. Like I think let us. I can get you that SOVA, SOVA, SOVA. That's a website that everybody, like even companies, use to filter out the the basic screening things. So they have aptitude, verbal reasoning, logical reasoning, those kind of questions, but not that exact ones, but the similar ones was shown to me on screen. Like so, I will solve this and say me the correct answers. But whatever I practiced, the second question puzzled me. So I don't think I got the first right answer right at the first time, and they moved on. And at some point of time, we were having a casual chat on what's gonna be the next thing. I was like, can we go back to the second question? I think I have answered it wrong. And like they was like, why did you think that? Because I'm still working on that in my right hand. So I think I've gone back. Went back, provided my answer. They're like, why did you? Like every answer, even though the smallest changes you make, you have to explain why you did that, why you are gonna do that, why you did that things.
Okay.
And yeah,
Okay. So that was the challenging thing. Okay.
uh,
So programming was not part of your interview. Like they didn't ask any questions on programming.
yeah, technical round first 10 minutes was like Python's basic things, by basic Python things, like
Okay.
the libraries you gonna use for visualization. Why are you using matplot at most sentences? Why are you gonna define your plot? How are you
Okay.
gonna generate a heat plot? Uh, why are you generating a pie chart instead of a bar graph? Why are you generating like how are you gonna generate a pie chart? How are you gonna generate a histogram? What like is there any how you find outliers? If you have a data, what's the first step you do? How you're gonna
So
load
more
it? What's the
into
library?
analytics, like how you use Python for analyzing
Analytics,
all
yeah.
visualizations. Okay. Um, so what about SQL or Excel? Did you have any
SQL
questions
was
in areas?
Excel. No, they didn't ask anything on Excel, I think. But my job role had Excel's defined into them, so I looked up into it, studied on it. But they were more focused on SQL. Like you, there was I remember the sample question was you have two databases, and
Okay.
one's entering daily, one's gonna enter monthly, and one you have a master data set. So how you gonna compare those three data sets and make sure there are no multiple entries, and how you're gonna find each particular person based on uh, a key, not the name. Like you have a name, you don't have like the customer or the patient don't have a key, like the identification key number with him, but you have to find him from the database, like the master database, from the monthly database and the daily database, say to make sure that it's the same person coming into the same, like then data is not getting duplicated or misentered. So how you gonna do that? How you gonna make sure you are gonna verify that person? So that
Okay.
was
So
like
everything
give
was
me the SQL
practical questions.
query on
Okay. So
that.
everything was practical questions,
On
right?
the technical round, yeah.
Okay.
But then they asked for Python. When they skipped into Python, they was like, okay, have you had any before work that you can show us? Like, that's like GitHub. Okay, GitHub, come on, let's go to GitHub and get it
Okay.
happens.
So with your this experience, interview experience, and I hope you must have attended a few more interviews before, right?
Yeah.
So what skills are mostly expected from a data analyst? And What do you think is more important, that the job aspirants should, explore or should learn?
Uh, First thing, I think communication. I think that's way like I don't know how to emphasize on that skill because you might have a bit less programming skills, but if you can communicate your problems clearly to others, they will help you because they know that everybody is not a mastermind in programming and problem solving, but if you have a very good communicator in your problems, and if you can write down and break down the problems into one things,
Mm.
then step by step things. So I think the communication and teamwork plays a very big role in that. And I think I had an interview from Cape Gemini, yeah. So it was a while back, and
Okay.
I went into the first round of screening. Second round was technical. I went through the technical rounds, but went into the logical and the behavioral skills. I don't know why I failed it, but at that point I didn't know. So I went back and I asked for the connections. Like when your interviewer comes to me and just like I just talk to them at the end of the interview, I was like, is there any way we can connect via like LinkedIn or any other professional means, so that if there is any other opening or any other way of learning from how you're gonna work in the industry. So and about 2 3 weeks, I got my rejection letter and says that you sorry for letting you know that you have now gone to the next round. But yeah, then I went back to the interview and I was like, is there any way you can provide me a feedback on why I did that? So it's like you are having very good behavior things, but you are not communicating properly your problems. You're slowly finding solutions, but you are not going through the step. I don't know how you found out that. So you have a
Okay.
solution, but you have the question, you have a solution, but how you went through that? Did you ask for any other help? How are you going? Like your answer was you will not ask for help. So that was like you have to ask for help. You are not gonna do everything on your own, but ask for help, seek from others. And even if you fail, report your failures, report your this step was wrong, but this was the correct things.
Okay. So, as a conclusion, like you say, communication and presentation is very, very important for a data analyst
Yeah.
than any other skills. All other skills
Yeah.
comes next.
Next, yeah, communicate. Like because if you couldn't find like communicate your findings. You have a very good visualization skills, how you have very good analytic skill, but you can't communicate it to the next person. It's gonna be a
Yes, of course. So we have question from Reshu. How did you apply to Deloitte? I mean, from which job portal did you apply?
so I got Deloitte from the company website itself. When you go through the careers in Deloitte, so they have openings for almost every case. So even data analyst, data and even they have an openings for data entry, I think, and data scrapers, customer operations, everything. This comes because when I went into LinkedIn and searched for Deloitte, they have very limited openings and they don't promote because everything in LinkedIn is promoted. So you only see what's promoted up into the LinkedIn's job portal. I suggest you go through every almost companies, search for companies in their websites. They will it may be in the bottom. Nobody might have been seeing that. And search in Google. Like Google is very good for job findings. Google doesn't like, even though people might say that Google has a ad promotions, but in job cases, I don't think like most people use Google for job findings. And um, one my like, current job, I got it from Indeed. I think yeah, Indeed. My current job I have from Indeed. So Indeed was also helpful. Like
Okay.
LinkedIn, it's very hard to get through the initial pool of candidates because everybody is going through them. Like you have about 10 to 15,000 people applying for every jobs available. And every first 2 3 pages will be like you over 200, 200 applicants. And it varies. And the HR is looking for how you gonna reject a person.
Yeah. Okay. So another question I have here, was it very difficult for you to transition into becoming a data analyst?
Uh, it's a bit hard, but yeah, it's I think everybody does the analytics behind the like in any field of work. You are doing the analytics, even statistics. The statistics we all study is been we've been going through that. Like when you're from your 10 standards to higher up your studies. If you are doing anything in your STEM field, you're going through it unknowingly. But you have a tough time when you are like finding out the answers. You can find the answers, but finding the right answers, it takes a bit of a time and practice. And yeah, I can't say that it's very difficult, but it takes the practice. That's it.
Yeah, so practice is what really required. So you talked about statistics. So many people find statistics difficult, even though they must have studied from school days. But really, they'll not understand like why they studied all that during their school days. But then now, basically, we can relate it easily, like how statistics plays a important role in data science or data analytics, right? So how important do you think statistics is? Whether did you have any questions related to statistics in your interview?
Not in my current interview, but every most interviews will like have a statistics like a mental ability test to test your math skills, statistics skills. Uh, like I didn't have it for Deloitte, but the Capgemini had one, Shell had one,
Okay.
Amazon's interview was basically statistical questionnaires thrown at you like you have a very big about a 20 minutes test to finish your statistics questions. Statistics, I think it's bit difficult for some people. I don't know. Uh, my case, I had help from industry experts, I think, who have been doing that for about 20 years to help me out on statistical beginnings.
Okay.
And I have like a very good basics of how you gonna use statistics, not things like mean and average and mode, median. That's the basic things. That four things will like comes to you every time you're gonna do analytics. Even a big data set will show you the mean, average, mean outliers, variations, standard deviations. So even though we didn't understand why you're gonna use standard deviations at that time, it's playing a very big role in finding out the answers. Why your standard deviation, like the difference between the mean and your next current points. Those things
Yeah.
was I can't
So we need to have a
emphasize on the
strong grip on statistics.
yes, I think so because in the interview rounds you can't predict the interviewers' questions. So if they feel like how you they need to test your math ability, they might give you simple problems to find out the mode, medians, and average. It can begin from that to how you're gonna find standard deviations, find out the skewness of this data, how are you gonna use some mathematical things in Excel? Because if in Excel you have everything, because and you just have to know how you use that. You don't need to memorize your formulas, everything, but you know how to use it in your Python, Excel. You have simple codes like info, describe, those codes that can give you the answers, but reading out those answers and making imparting that answers into your data is what's important, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So any other challenges you had in this transition?
Mm, transition, like my previous role helped me to write reports.
Okay.
So it's like always had to rewrite reports on that. Fine, I was fine report like taking like the results from the website, like my portal, and writing a report to make sure that his team leaders, my supervisors, was getting a short, concise answer on what they needed to focus on. So my previous job helped me like there was building. It was all like building up everything you learn, everything you have gathered from your experience, every work you've done. It's gonna help you in building up to that point. But the transition was like a gradual transition. It's not like a overnight transition. sleeping one night as a
Okay.
mechanical engineer, waking up into a data analyst. So it has like
Yeah.
a gradual transformation. Data might help me like you this they laid out the first like the roadmap from beginning. You are gonna learn the first things: statistics, Python, then the machine learning, artificial intelligence, neural networks, those libraries. So I didn't feel like a huge workload was upon me, and it's like work and the team that you had with my team projects, we were all helping with each other's. I am glad to let you all know that my one of my team members is also working in Cape Gemini, like who have studied with me Datamites. She is working in France now.
Oh,
So
that's great. Okay. So after completing course, she joined, is
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Okay.
she didn't even go through her masters after that. She directly went into Cape Gemini.
Oh,
After 6 months, she cracked it.
okay. So, graduation, do you consider that, or think that graduation is important? Like, or people, mostly ask, like, is it okay to go take this course without, graduating, like, without
Yeah,
going to colleges?
I think it's fine. I don't think there was no one question that's why did you do computer science after mechanical engineering? Why are you going to go dive back? Because it now in our industry everybody knows that there's a big gap in skills and like people who can work with the companies with diverse skills. If you have a mechanic engineer with computer science skills, very good. If you have an electrical engineer, computer science engineer, but computer science engineers mostly prefer the software sides of things because it's I don't know why they tend to be on that side of the field, and you have people with very different backgrounds coming into this field having analytics because they would bring a different perspective into the field. So it's very good
Okay.
that you have a very different background, that you have very good knowledge on your side of bachelor's, then you come into data analytics because data analytics plays on very different fields. You can't say that it's you're gonna do the data from software side. You are gonna use the data from electrical, mechanical engineering, electronics, healthcare, space, anything.
So coming from different domain actually helps a lot. Like you
Helps
have
out
some
a lot.
domain
Yeah,
knowledge, right?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Neha Gupta wants to ask how to frame our resume so that it will be shortlisted. Does they require experience? Can you suggest more companies in which we can apply?
Uh, I can help you with the resume things because I found out that in most HRs uses 8 years. That's a that's basically throwing your resume out of the window before they're gonna see it. But and the ATS will only work on keywords, buzzwords. Go through your job description. Make sure that in your first paragraph of your resume you have those keywords embedded in a meaningful way. If the resume has to be like 2 pages maximum with your skills on first page itself, your experience comes next, your education comes second, your hobbies comes last, and your projects has to be in the like after your studies you have done these projects, so you have data mites in there, you have your projects done there, then comes your masters or your bachelor degrees, then your project. So describe it like a story, like you have your and then you highlight your skills you have taken out of all those skills from your those things. You had worked with a team, you have a very good knowledge on Python, you have very good knowledge on C++. And even though some companies will ask you for the library knowledge, some companies will ask you for you have any knowledge in PyTorch, knowledge in Panda, some NumPy. Even every data analytics or every other machine learning student would have gone through those libraries. Some people won't mention it in your resume, and the ATS won't find you. It's not a very intelligent thing that if you have a machine learning certificate, you have gone through those things, but the ATS won't know that. So it will find only the keywords in that. And I can't give out a lot of companies in my back of my head. I think Indeed is a very good starting point with for entry levels because Indeed helps you a lot. Indeed, Total Jobs. LinkedIn is very good to make sure you have a very profile made up to that. And I found out that you have your certifications. Entered into LinkedIn, and I think people can look forward to do a Lean Six Sigma certifications. Lean Six Sigma is a basic something. It's a once a free thing. You can do it to in your own time, study it on your own time. It's a basic thing of how you gonna do the process. It's just certify that you know how the process works. You can minimize the wastage. You can minimize. You can time like a model your workflow into reducing the waste. That's it. I
Yeah.
think Lean Sigma. I found it on my own, but it helped me a lot in the later stages.
Okay. So that added value to your resume.
Yeah, but like I think the Lean Six Sigma was like a standout thing because a lot of people do that. But the how you gonna define your workflow? So you have your workflow things like you're gonna report, writing reports, make communication, make sure that you like emphasize on the things that's in the job profile. Like you, when you have seeing a job listing, you don't go apply directly. Says you have a like a template resume, then you use that resume in 100 companies. Only one of those companies would have like a 20% match with your resume. But you go use some. There are a lot of ATS matches in internet now. You have make sure you have more than 95% clearance because there are about lot of candidates working on that, and the HRs, like it's not their fault because you have about 2,000 applications. You can't go through everything. They would shortlist on the basis of that software, giving out only about 200, 10%, 5% of that resume. Then even though then they will only have a glance through your resume about for 10 minutes, 10 seconds. The main thing is like put your skills on top. Just after your
Yes.
summary, put your skills on top.
Very true. So we cannot have one resume for all the companies. Like we need to look into the
Yeah,
JD, what is their expectation, and highlight those things in the resume. So when we apply for some company, we need to see what they are expecting and highlight only
yeah,
those things in the resume, right?
yes.
Yeah. So it's always good that we basically we can say we customize our resume based on the clients or the company's expectation. So what they are really looking into. Yes, correct. And we have another question from Miral. I had a question in I am in my pre-final year in CSE. I have studied data science and data analysis from DataMites. I have been doing quite a few projects. What should be my next step to get a good data science or analyst job or internship at a good company? I'm yet to graduate, hence a bit clueless about the process.
So if you have yet to graduate, I forgot that name. There is a website. If I find out, I would message DataMites about that. There's a website that you can land internships all over the globe. That if you
Intershala,
are in your fine, huh?
we have Intershala.
Internshala, no, it's a. I forgot that it works with high tech companies. It only works with the
Okay,
high tech Volvos, Mercedes, and it can help you with anywhere in the globe, even abroad. It will ask you for your degree certificate, and like it can only work in the 1 year of your after graduation.
okay,
Then it will like help you into land an internship at very big companies, learn the basics things, and it's the interview rounds are basically making sure that you have your domain knowledge only and bit of even analytic skills, and it's a fully paid thing. You can mm, learn from the industrial giants. I forgot that name. It's in my history somewhere. I'll find out
okay.
and that I'll let you know. And
Sure.
for the projects thing, make sure that you have a portfolio ready in your GitHub, Kaggle, anywhere you can make sure that, say like in your resume, highlight that you have a portfolio ready up. If you can like ask your interviewer, sometimes they will like, do you have a portfolio for us to evaluate your work? Because you're gonna say that in your resume that you have done lots of projects. They gonna need to see the evidence of that. And everything you're gonna learned DataMites. That's a client, even the small projects. If you could upload that in your GitHub and like look into other GitHub sources and say like how they have structured it, how they have highlighted your work. It's it's a small step, but it's gonna help you at some point in your career that you have done those things. Okay, we know that even though you might have forgotten that it's single things that you've done, but it's there, you have already done it. Their companies only need to know that you have experience in that. You can refresh your memory sometimes when they need it. Most companies hire on the basis of what their immediate need is. So they're gonna give out a most things we have never heard of. So do your research. Sometimes those words might be misleading because you have done it before, and some words you have never noticed it before. But those words, pick up the buzzwords, and like the job description matters really. Like you, like I found out. I want to say that LinkedIn. If you're going through LinkedIn, find out the job. Don't apply. Easy apply. Go through the company website. Go through the job listings, and in that job listings they will have more information on what you need, because at the end of the day LinkedIn is not responsible for the resume screening. It comes to the company or the hiring managers, or in my case, after second round of interview in Shell, I was handed over to a third party company, so they're going to evaluate everything on my case. So I didn't go through that because they were looking for a person with experience in another field, but they need an electrical engineer with a computer science field. I was a mechanical
Okay.
engineer. So the way I were like, because my mechanical engineering word was not picked up through the resume cycle. They went through my first logical, and when we went into the technical round, the questions was like, I don't know how the transformer works. That was the So there's like the role was like the domain knowledge in your resume. If you are saying something, you are an electrical engineer, back that up with your experience or your study domain knowledge. And ask for what you're gonna expect in your interview. Like ask your HR, give me from some prep materials. Like they are there for you to like help you. So you don't need to get shy of asking help from them. Like even at the early hours of the day, you can mail them and ask, can I have an interview prep? Can you give me a brief description of what I can expect in that interview? And even though you get puzzled in that sections, don't you say that, can I take that question later? Because the interviewer doesn't, yeah, always thinks that you are nervous. You need some time to cool you down, cool yourself. So ask for time because they have a lot of time. They have created up their schedule for you. So don't worry about like basic things, but build up when you go through the interview, you have like, at the end of you feel more comfortable. Take that questions at that time.
That's a good suggestion, basically. So we could get some, like the areas that we need to prepare so that will not completely be blank when something is asked in the interview. Like you at least get some idea
Yeah.
to answer. It would help. Yeah. So Vaibhav wants to ask, I just finished my master's in electrical engineering in UK. Is it possible for me to go into data analyst? Where should I start from?
So the basically data analysis, like data visualization, is the thing that's gonna work for data analytics. How and if you have done electrical engineering in UK, you have done your uh, projects like what was that? Forgot about that name. Like your research papers. So you have done your report writing, you highlight your report works, then do the visualization softwares like Power BI, Tableau. Those are easy to learn. And if when you're learning Power BI, you will come across DAX and then Excel. You have very good knowledge of Excel can also help in data analytics. So I think you should start from Excel, then go to Power BI, then Tableau. Then if you feel comfortable, you can use Python, learn Python. It's It's a very you can do it in your own time, I think, but make sure that you don't have a very big gap between your finishing out, and you can the companies will always ask you for your uh, past 3 years of experience or 5 years. In my case, I was asked to give my 5 years of reference things. That when I need to get in touch with datamites and get make sure like they help me a lot. But you have to have a maximum of 42 days like gap. You can only have that. Or in between that period, you have to find I don't say a very good like a permanent position, but find yourself a position where you can learn what the skills that you can transfer into a new job. Every job helps you when you have a like you're working as in a hotel, you can have that teamwork. You're communicating with a lot of people from around the world. So each job you can have the takeaways for your new job. So the companies will ask you like, what did you take away from your last job? What did you take away from your master studies? What did you take away from your bachelor studies? So that work was just like the Shell was like in the apply for Shell, even though you didn't get through your Shell interview, Shell's interview will teach you a lot of things because how you're gonna behave in the company, how you're gonna answer your questions in the interview.
Okay. So, addition to that, I would like to, say that in DataMites we have a well-structured course for data analytics, basically. So we will start with Excel and then advanced Excel and then statistics, Python, SQL, BI. So probably that's how the flow is. So I think that's what Jithin wants to tell, right? So um, database skills is required. Business intelligent tools. You need to learn some of the business intelligent tools. So like Power BI or Tableau. Vaibhav, it's good that if you start from Excel and maybe you could join some course and you learn these skills. More questions we have.
So should
Nilindu
I share
wants
my
to ask
resume
if
for like a quick reference on?
that would really help. So maybe we can get it from Shali if you can share it with Shali.
Yeah, I will remove the identification things and I will send you the template of my resume so that you can.
Yeah, please share it with Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will do
Uh,
that. After this session, I will do my send.
sure. Thank you so much. So Nilinda wants to ask if someone want to go to internship in data science with 20 years of experience in different domain. What is your inputs?
So, in when I don't know, remember the company, I was in an interview round with a nurse who had a 25 years of experience in data analyst. She was doing nursing, then she was transitioning into data analytics because even she worked in she works in UK. Then she is well paid, but she wants to learn data analytics. She learned it, then she came into the interview. And it's very possible that even if you have 20, 25 years of experience in different domains, you bring that experience. You have worked with teams, you have worked with lot of clients, you have worked with lot of things that will bring you lot, even anything, small things like how you showcase your 20 years. Like you have learned a lot of things that I am still going to learn. And you're like, I don't know how to explain those things. Like the 20 years of experience throws in a very big weight into your resume.
Yes, of
I,
course. So, domain knowledge is something which actually the industry is expecting. And on
yeah.
top of that, if you have that technical knowledge,
In
like
technical
how you
analytics
can
skills.
solve certain things in, to that particular industry or domain, that really,
Yeah.
adds value.
Yes, I think so. You can like use some uh I think some certifications courses like your DataMites certification courses gives you credibility that you know these things. Data might certify you that we have taught you those things, and you have given some project experience, you know, or the client experience. This DataMites journey of how you from beginning to end. will give you a credibility and says that the company will see that, yeah, you have learned these things, you have certifications, you have CDS or CDA certifications. That certifications will mean a value that you have those data analytics knowledge. So we don't need to grill you on those things.
Yeah. So Nega has another question. Can you let us know what are the things people lack because of which they are not selected? The pro tips that you can share.
I'm not pro in sharing anything, but I don't think like then I did a data analytics boot camp. So it was did by the not my university, like some other university was doing that. They were like 3 days in a week thing. Then you can do it online or offline, but I did that online thing. And there was an HR sitting there, like she was she was screening all of us for that next possible candidate for them. And about 3 or 4 weeks into that thing, I went into her and was like, so you are an HR, you have experience in hiring people. So what are you looking for things in people? So it's like the first thing they are looking at, if I see you a person, like even if you get through first round of resume screening, we are always looking for a reason to reject you. The Sorry for telling, but because they all have a lot of candidates, they need the best possible candidate for their job role. And you are only bringing if you have a very big knowledge, everybody in some people, the rest, HR wants to see that the job description they have, like they will be given a checklist. These people will like, okay, they have data analytics, they have data science knowledge, they have machine learning knowledge. But their requirement will be like some specific, Jupyter notebook. The job description will be Jupyter notebook, but you have never described Jupyter notebook. You know that you what you did it in Jupyter notebook, but you have never mentioned it. You have never mentioned SpicePark. You mentioned data analytics visualization. You might have used Seaborn. You have Plotly, but you have never mentioned it in your resume. The resume HR will, because the HR is not a technically sound person uh, who is gonna sit through that. But you HR won't recognize those words in your resume other than that's given to him in your checklist. So it goes through that. Then other thing is like I think most people, I my friends, I have friends still doing the like sending the same resume, same cover letter to every companies, and even the summary needs to be edited sometimes. Technical skills, you don't. They will like you have those skills that are like told that they don't require a person with this skill. Like some other you might be working very well in a team, but you have to highlight you can also work alone. So some people will be like emphasizing on teamwork. Some people will never say that you have done projects on your own. That uh, like that's what she's told you. Everybody knows that you are working alone. You can very big. You can like how you have made a difference into the team. You won't highlight that. You always will say that the team did that. Team did this, but highlight on how you did that team, like how you made sure that teams, how what did you do in that team, what you have done on basis of what your role was. So and star technique, I think the star technique was very important for me because when I learned that I was cracking through more interviews than before. And sometimes I will like rounds will go through 6 rounds, and like when you're in your rank list, they will only request 2 people from 10 people, so I get rejected on that.
Yeah. So another question here. Surampuri wants to ask, I have completed data science course before 1 year. I'm pursuing my MCA right now. Can I get a job? And I completed Python developer course from DataMites. Please help me. So she has
Mm,
actually completed data science and Python developer.
mm. So I don't like you have enough knowledge more than me about those things. I think you can. I it's a I don't know how you can phrase that. It's very easy to get. fed up about the rejections. But you know that one day, like I've done about 1,000 applications, only about I can 15, 25 interviews already only. So, and in that 25 to 30 interviews, I only cracked about six, uh, six of them, and got rejected in final rounds in three of them. So it's trying, like you don't stop trying. That's the best thing I can only say. Uh, I don't know more about how which companies does this. But in my experience, the bigger companies, the smaller companies, if you apply for smaller companies, they will they want people with experience bringing into them. But if the median companies which has like a training program, it's a bit easier for the people with beginning of it when they are transitioning into it. You can have knowledge on how the companies does this, how the companies apply your skills into it. Like in the in the client project, if you like review your assessment reports and writing your reports, that will always help you to gain knowledge on how you're gonna write reports. Because at the end of the day, you are gonna showcase your results out to people. It's more about communicating, and it's trying again and again for jobs. That was my only like last 2 months. I was like on literally every day I was gonna apply for new two, three or four companies. Even though I get rejected, go on, edit your resumes. That's what I did.
So we basically should not stop trying. And another thing
No,
is like till we get something, like we can work on different use cases, try to explore, try to take different data sets, and we can learn, right, from different projects and showcase that. So that itself will get us a lot of opportunities, basically.
yeah, there's this website that puts out uh, like a virtual internships. In my resume, I've done virtual internships from I'm doing a virtual internship from TCS right now. I'm also cognizant there was a virtual internship on machine learning. So those virtual internships you can attend for free. They will give you certifications. Uh, It's basically how you gonna work within the companies. So that's the same framework. What you gonna do that? Uh, it,
So
I will send you.
how do you basically apply for these internships? Like they want to know.
I will send you the website links into the path. Or
Okay,
I
sure.
think I have them in some web. I forgot. Like it's been a because I'm directly using that things in histories. I forgot about those names. So
If you could
I'll
share, that would be
share with
helpful.
Pat and you can share it with everybody. I'll send my resume template and
So Nilindu, I think just now he told that he'll be sharing it. So Nilindu wants to know whether what is a website for virtual internship.
uh, one second. Hold on a second. I need to go do some research on this. I
No
forgot about
problem.
that.
You can take your time, and maybe you can share it with the Pat team.
Okay.
Sure, Nilindu, you can keep in touch with Pat so that you can get this information.
Uh, there's some, but it's there. I need to do it.
No problem.
I will send it. I'll send it. I've about
Okay.
3 or 4 websites that you can use it to your help. Like do the virtual internships, do practice assessments. Because every practice, like SOVA is a very good practice. I remember SOVA, SOVA. It's a very good
Okay.
site for candidate practice. It gives you interview preparations, how you answer your questions. It will help you to, if you even make wrong answers, it will tell you how you're gonna use the right answers.
Okay. So you can make a note of it, Nilindu. Team, can you unmute Murtaza? I think he wants to ask something. I could not.
Yeah.
I think. Team, Shali, could you unmute Murtaza? Murtaza, do you want to ask something?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, Jithin, I just wanted to know. I have a solid knowledge on database, right? And I have also completed data science course from DataMites. Okay. So I just wanted to know the go ahead. Now the next step, what? I have a solid knowledge in the database. No, what is the next step? I step by step I want to complete it. Can you just guide me how to complete these things?
Pardon, like I missed the last part.
Okay, okay. I'm telling you, I have a sound knowledge in the database. Okay, and
Yeah.
now I have completed data science course from DataMites. So I just wanted to know what is the next database is completed now. What it should be like Python or machine learning and AL. What the next? What how to complete it for the good knowledge? The steps for the completing it in a good manner.
Yeah. So I think you have very good knowledge in SQL database systems. You think you
Yes,
can
yes.
do more? And yeah, if you have a very good knowledge in database SQL systems, uh, Python will be a very good next step because Deloitte was asking more on how you could do things in Python. Then you don't did if you could do those things in data SQL, how you
Uh,
gonna
uh,
transition this into Python? Because many companies are now transitioning from every other languages into Python because Python is
okay,
more easier to integrate into their systems. I think
okay,
Deloitte was saying that my friend who
okay.
has applied to Admiral, who also says that the company is transitioning from Java to Python. So I
Mm,
should suggest
mhm.
Python is a very good next step. And if you
Now,
go from
okay.
there, yeah.
Okay. Next. Next, what it should be?
Sorry?
Python would be
After the
the
Python. After the Python. Because in the data science, we studied 6, 7 subjects. So I just wanted to know that after the Python, what it is. The statistics or in machine learning and what?
But statistics is basics for almost all analytics cases. So
Mm-hmm.
very good knowledge in statistics will help you in any case. Machine learning,
Uh,
it's a additional skill they might look for, but
mm,
make sure that if you have machine learning knowledge, you showcase your works because machine learning is like a AI that comes into
mm,
everybody's hands. You have to
okay.
showcase what you have done,
Okay.
how you're gonna use
So,
the result.
mhm. True, true. So what I'm planning, you just correct me. My plan is what I just like after the Python, as you told me the Python. After the Python, I'm planning for BI, either Power BI or BI business intelligence or Delta video. The sequence is okay.
Uh,
I would like to answer this. Murtaza, basically, if you are very much interested in data analytics, then you could explore on different analytical tools. Like you can be good in Excel, SQL, and
Mhm.
BI tools.
Yes.
Let's say if you're interested more on predictive analytics and all, then you can explore machine learning. Be strong in machine learning, and then you can explore further. You can
Mm,
go to advanced techniques, like you can explore on AI. So it depends
mm,
on your interest.
mm,
So if you are
mm,
very good in programming, and if you have
mm,
a good
mm,
strong
mm,
knowledge in machine
mm,
learning and all, then you can focus
mm.
there. Whereas if you're not much into programming, and if you're good in
Mhm,
analytical skills, you could explore
mhm,
more on
mm,
analytical tools like BI and all.
mm. I just shared you my ideas, what I think about these things. Okay, but I'm just completed this data science. So I want to go through the data science process. So those track I need, roadmap I
Yes.
need to just do
Yes.
the practice. Yes.
Yes, of course. So you need to take, as I told, try to take different use cases. When I say that, try to look into different domain, right? So solve different business problems, and you could get more knowledge. Okay, and when you have some domain knowledge, that can get you a lot of opportunities. Okay, so be strong in machine learning. Okay, and you can further explore AI, like get into neural networks, and also you have to take use cases and learn.
Okay. 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 So after Python, there is a specific instructions like after the Python, I can go for a particular another step. What it is exactly? That's my question. After the Python, machine learning. That's fine. That's fine.
If you
That's
have
fine.
strong knowledge in statistics, then you can proceed
Okay.
with
Yeah.
machine learning.
Okay. If it's not a strong hand in the statistics, then what is the alternate?
No, I say when you complete Python statistics, then the next step would be machine learning.
Machine learning. Oh, fine. Fine. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I got my answer.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jatin. Yeah.
I think we have answered almost all the questions. So Neha wants to ask, most of companies ask for experience. How can a fresher get a job? So do you want to answer, Jithin?
I think I don't know really the correct answer for that. I was also thinking at that same time because the entry level jobs with 2 years, 3 years of experience was thing. But if you dive deep into it, there are companies that say 0 to 2 years because they are looking for people with some kind of knowledge in the domain, not people with very good high rated experience. So in their resume, you always have done projects, things that you can highlight the results. First time the results had to be now numerical. So numbers, use numbers in your resumes. So you have done the projects and you gain this much result. This was your accuracy of your project. I think that's gonna help you all, but I'm not sure how you're gonna gain experience. Like I got the I don't know how my experience will help you like that. I did my mechanical engineering job. That was like a placement thing that I got from a university, but that I didn't even highlight that job in my resume because that's a very big different domain. Then I started from scratch in data analytics or the computer science field. So I was trying very hard on that because most companies will give you a placement like a help you on if you even if you have a zero experience. They have programs that can help you on like graduate programs. Even you can apply again and again because there's a lot of people. If you tailor your resume correctly, you can land a graduate program.
Okay. Yeah. So Neha, one thing is like, see, where in data science we don't really, companies really don't consider, people who comes with a lot of project experience. They're not considered as fresher, even though if you don't have real time experience, they look into the skills that you have. Okay, and here there are a lot of opportunities, but again, I don't. I'm not telling you that it's very easy to get a job. Again, you have to put a lot of effort. So try to learn, explore, and gather more knowledge, and try to do more projects and showcase that. And I believe that that would, could get you a job.
So given the websites to, yeah,
I think
I don't know
everyone
how
can
it is.
see here. Okay. Yeah.
So
Thank you so
first one
much.
is the virtual internship site, and the second one is your SOVA, like the candidate preparation hub for your interviews.
Thank you so much, Jithin.
And there was one more thing I forgot about it. So the first one will give you insight into many large companies' websites. Though they are giving out virtual internships, they will certify you on your work.
Okay. So I hope I believe that this could help many. So any more
And
questions?
these websites certificates, you can use it in your resume, you can use it in your LinkedIn. That's as a virtual work experience. That will count like a you like an industry knowledge, but I don't know how like you if you there were some opportunities from like if you did your virtual internships very well, how you because these answers get back to the companies and the companies evaluate your answers, and sometimes the companies come back to us and like, why did you give this answer? There was one case when my friend did an internship with I don't remember the company, and the company got back to her and asked like, your answers was very different what we expected from people, so can you explain your answers? And she got an interview, but I don't know what ended up later.
Okay. So should be able to explain our work.
Yeah, should be able to explain our work,
Yeah.
because now everybody can use AI to answer the questions.
Yes,
So they were looking for how, when, why is the answer like this.
exactly. Okay. So I think we have answered all the questions. Thank you so much, Jithin, for your time. You have shared many information with us. I hope this would be helpful for many people who wants to, set their path in data science or data analyst. So it was a truly inspiring journey, and we wish you a success in your career. Thank you so much once again.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.